Hey guys, welcome back to Tangled Up in Books. I'm Yari, now 1/3 of Tangled Up in Books. So, wait, first off, if my hair looks crazy, that's because it has a mind of its own and I can never do anything with it. So yeah, that being said, so this video, most likely the reason why you clicked on this video, it is on my review of The Isle of the Lost by Melissa De La Cruz, a Descendants novel. If you don't know what The Descendants is, The Descendants is a movie on the Disney Channel. They have 2 movies currently out, and this is the first book in the series. And the events of this book take place before the first Descendants movie. So, yeah. So what this book is about, The Isle of the Lost. So in The Isle of the Lost, this world is divided basically into 2. So there is like the mainland, I guess, Auradon, and that is where all the Disney heroes from the Disney movies live. They have their kingdoms there, and Beast and Belle are the king and queen of Auradon. And then there's the other side, the Isle of the Lost, and that is, you probably guessed it, yes, the Isle of the Lost is where the villains of the Disney movies that we all know and love live. So yeah, so 20 years ago, King Beast, he banished all the Disney villains to the Isle of the Lost. And basically on the Isle of the Lost, there's this dome that's over the island, and they cannot get out. They have no Wi-Fi, and they pretty much get all of Auradon's garbage. What I mean by that is that anything that Auradon throws out, like food, like rotten food or whatever, that's what the people that live in the Isle of the Lost gets. So they eat like the rotten food that Auradon doesn't want anymore, which is kind of mean. Like, everybody needs food to survive. Like, I don't know why they can't send them like good food that isn't rotten. Maybe it's because it rotten to the core. I don't know. So yeah. Okay. So that's like the big premise, and then the story within this story is 4 of the Disney villains. So we have Mal, who is the daughter of Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. Then we have Evie, the daughter of the Evil Queen from Snow White. And we have Jay, the son of Jafar from Aladdin. And also we have Carlos, the son of Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. So the main part of this book is Mal, Evie, Carlos, and Jay going to the, what's it called, the Forbidden Fortress? Yes, they're going into to find Maleficent's dragon's eye. Yeah, so they are going on a mission to find Maleficent's dragon's eye. But the only catch is that the first person that touches it goes to sleep for 1,000 years. So yeah, so they had to figure that out. So that's the main focus of this book. Now I'm gonna go into a few points of spoiler free of what I thought about the book. First off, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. That was a really interesting book. The concept was really fun to read. I really enjoyed seeing what possibly could have happened after all the heroes got their happily ever afters and after the villains lost, basically. So it's really interesting to see like what was the aftermath of that. It was also really fun to see, interesting to see the Disney villains as parents, because I feel like becoming a parent like changes people. So it was like interesting to see how they interact and what they teach their child. So I thought that was cool. I also thought that the story was, the pace was, it was a good pace. It wasn't too fast. It wasn't too slow. I also felt like like the four main characters, Mal, Evie, Carlos, and Jay, they really had like an arc, like a character arc where they really where you saw some change in them from like the beginning to how the book ended. So I also enjoyed that, the character development through the first book. I also found it really interesting the way that Melissa De La Cruz, like the way she created this world, the Isle of the Lost, and what it looks like, what the people do, what they eat, what the different businesses is there that's run by different Disney villains. That was really cool to see as well. And I really like the way that she developed this world. I'm curious to know, maybe somebody out there knows, because these are companions to the Descendants movies. I don't know which came first. If they had Melissa De La Cruz write the book first, and then they thought about all these about the whole Isle of the Lost thing, and like I don't know what came first. I don't know if the book came first, like production wise. I don't know if the book came first, or like they wrote the script for the movie first, and then Melissa De La Cruz just took stuff from the script of the movie and created the book. So I'm not sure which came first. I'm actually really curious to know which of the two came first. But yeah, I thought that the world was a really interesting world, and I honestly can't wait to continue reading the next two books in the series. Also, there's that. I'm not sure if it's just a trilogy or it's a series, and I don't know, the third movie coming out. I hope there is, because the books and the movies. I think that's it for my spoiler-free section of this review. So next will be coming my thoughts with spoilers. So in this next section of the video, there will be spoilers for the book and the first movie. So if you haven't read the book or watched the first movie, do not continue watching. So exit the video now and come back once you've read The Isle of the Lost and watched the first Descendants movie. So yeah, okay, so hopefully everyone that hasn't read the book or seen the movie has clicked out the video, and now spoilers. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna say is that I found it, because I think it's the way that because I actually saw the movies first and then read the first book. So I found it interesting the way that Mal was so mean to Evie. But then again, with that being said, I found it really interesting how nice Evie was, or is. But I think that that was kind of like creating the character of Evie and her being like so sweet. I think that was setting up for Ben's part of the book and what he thinks, and the decision that he ends up making in Descendants, which is if you watch the movie, is that he feels that just because your parent is evil, it can't possibly mean that their offspring are going to be evil as well. So he wants to give the villain kids a chance to live in Aradon and have everything that he has and that he's able to experience, because it's not fair that just because their parents did the things that they did, it's not fair that they as well have to be locked up on the Isle of the Lost and be stuck there. So I think that them making Evie so nice, it was, to help prove Ben's point. So you could see like that, yeah, Ben has something going there, because Evie is not a mean person, a mean-spirited person. She really isn't. So I feel like that's what was that her character is so I feel like her character is what makes Ben's points valid. Oh, let's talk about Carlos. Oh, Carlos. I love Carlos. He's so funny and he's really smart. But I felt so bad for him. Oh my goodness. His mom, Cruella de Vil, she lives up to his name. She's really cruel. It was so hard to read all the things that she has to do for him, that he has to do for her, and just how he's so afraid of her. I mean, she is Cruella de Vil, but yeah, he's so afraid of her, and she has all the chores for him. He his room is like a mattress on the floor. He doesn't even have a pillow or a blanket or anything. And then she has all these fur coats in her closet that will keep him warm, and his bed is literally just a mattress on the floor. And I'm like, that's so sad. I'm like I'm gonna make a point from the movie where what's her name? The daughter of Mulan. I forgot her name. What's the name of Mulan's daughter? Well, Mulan's daughter in the movie, in the first Descendants movie, when they're baking the cookie to help to make Ben fall in love with Mao, the daughter of Mulan says, she says something to the point where she thought that even villains must love their kids. And then that's how I felt too. It was like, oh, Cruella de Vil has to love Carlos, that is her son. And it just proves, towards the end when they're going through the bridge, trying to get into the fortress, not the fortress, but into the castle, and he has to answer the riddle about Cruella and what it is that she loves the most, and the answer is her fur coat over Carlos. I'm just like, and then he had to answer that and actually say it out loud in front of everybody else, and I'm like, that's really sad. I'm like, I felt so bad for Carlos. Let me know in the comments if you felt bad for him too, because I'm just like she had Carlos, and then but on the same subject of Carlos, I love the scene where Carlos and Evie are in his tree house, and he's trying to get his little machine to work so he could the machine to try to get a signal so they could get more channels on their TVs, on the TV, besides the 2 channels that they have. I'm actually gonna read that part because I found it so funny. The way that Melissa De La Cruz, she throughout the book, she adds in things from Disney related things. So it was cool to try to pick those things out. So this is the scene. Then it switched to a pair of twins who were nothing alike. One was boyish and athletic, and the other was sort of a diva. And they both sort of looked like Mao, except with yellow hair. So obviously, the Disney Channel, there's the show Liv and Maddie, which the twins are played by Dove Cameron. Right, Dove Cameron, yeah, who plays Mao in Descendants. So I thought that was funny that she threw that into the book. And then there's just I just loved all the little references to like Disney movies, just like Disney in general, that Melissa De La Cruz put into the book. I thought that that was a nice touch, like and just like picking things like, oh, like that's what she means by the ha ha ha. So yeah, okay, so a little bit about Mao. So yeah, a little bit about Mao. One of the things that I thought about, I find it really interesting that Mao's name is Maleficent, but the Maleficent's her mother. She makes it a point, and she says that she calls Mal because she's not worthy yet of being called Maleficent. She says that she's not evil enough to have the name Maleficent, so she just calls her Mal. And well, and I'm just like, that's so crazy that she would tell her daughter, like, you're not even worthy of your full name. Like, I'm just gonna call you Mal because you're literally not worthy of the name that I gave you. You have to prove it to me that you are evil enough to be called Maleficent, and then I'll call you Maleficent. I'm like, that's so crazy. Okay, let's talk about Little Up at the end. I found it interesting the way that Melissa De La Cruz ended the book, because with a book that it's not about villains, you if there's kids and parents involved, you would think that at the end, after the kids going through like this long adventure, that this long adventure slash mission, you would think that the parent at the end would be like, I'm so proud of you, you went through all of that, you did all of that, that must have been really hard or whatever, and they would be proud of them. And I found it was so crazy how, and it was like so amazing, I think, that she ended the book like this, because it is about villains, that each parent tells their child, Mal, Evie, Carlos, and Jay, all of their parents tell them, I'm disappointed in you in the end. And I'm just like, that's a evil villain parent thing to do, I guess. Like, literally each and every one of them used the word they said to their child, I'm disappointed in you. I'm just like, that just shows like why these 4 kids are like the way that they are. They're trying so hard to prove themselves to their parent, and they literally cannot live up to like their parent name. So yeah, I found that interesting, the way that she ended the book. All the parents telling all the kids, I'm disappointed. Okay, I think that's all the spoiler things that I had to say about the book. I just wanted to mention one thing, because when I was watching the movie, in the scene, the first Descendants movie, in the scene where they're having the game, what's it called, tourney? So, you know, they have that sport that they play in Oradon. So I'm like looking at Carlos, and I'm like, I first couldn't tell the number of his jersey, and I'm like, everybody else has either like, I think like 1 number or 2 numbers, and I'm like, why is his number so high? Then I realized that his number is 101, and I'm like, that would be his jersey number, because 101 Dalmatians. His mother's Carla DeVoe. So yeah, I found that so funny. Okay. So that's it, guys. That is my review, spoiler free and spoilery, of Out of the Lost, the first book in the Descendants novel series, trilogy, whatever it is. So next, look forward to look forward to next. I'm gonna try to put it up next week. My review of Return to the Isle of the Lost. I already started this book, and I'm really curious to what's gonna go on next. And then I'm curious about this Return to the Isle of the Lost, because certain things about the second movie that were said, I'm like, it contradicts this title. So Hopefully it doesn't give away too much. But yeah. Oh, look at this cool map. Isn't it cool? So yeah, that's that. So look forward to that. And like always, if you like this video, please like it, click that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you aren't already, and if you want to get notifications anytime you post a new video, click the little bell that's somewhere. And also, like always, all of our social media links will be linked downstairs in the description box, bar, whatever it is. And oh, also I'm doing a blog post as well on my review for the Eye of the Lost. That should be up by the time this video is up. So my blog is waitwhat2016.com. I'll put it right here. So check that out. That should be up right now. And yeah, so look forward to more videos, and I'm also gonna try to post more frequently, and I'm gonna try to force Carleni and Tasha to post soon, so we can have multiple videos going up a week. So yeah, that is it. This video is 25 minutes long. Jesus. So yeah, so I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.